OMG so bad. My 5-year-old was so upset because the cartoons she watched did not look the same as the film. Everything wrong with modern cinema. Completely destroying childhood memories. Disney ruined the Snow White of my childhood. It almost made me cry in the theater. This is not the Snow White from my childhood. Trash. Absolutely atrocious. As a grizzled movie critic with a nose for trash. Wait, did I write this? Why are they doing this? I've seen Steven Seagal movies better than this. Well, I guess we're doing this. For years now, we've been learning so much about this movie against our will. For years, we've seen Peter Dinklage saying how Disney better not cast any little people. For years, we've heard how Rachel Zegler loves Snow White but also thinks it's really stupid. Which, what a thing to say about the movie you're gonna be in, though. You know what I mean? But even beyond that, all this hullabaloo of everyone being so upset about this movie is literally the funniest thing, okay? Because, as if any of you have ever had a single thought about freaking Snow White. I mean, it is kind of funny how they took literally the only thing about the character and got rid of it. All right, so who is Snow White? She has, really pale white skin? Okay, well, we definitely can't have that. But even more hilarious is everyone clamoring on about how Disney is besmirching the sanctity of Snow White. As if any of you ever cared until now. Guys, I don't know how to tell you this, but Snow White is not real. But okay, so the movie came out to rave reviews, and now that I can finally make a video about it, I wanted to take a step back away from all the easy dunks and ask the question, on its own, is Snow White good, actually? I mean, the movie did so bad that Disney has halted all current live-action remakes, even the Hercules one, inspired by TikTok. Thank goodness for that. But okay, let's talk about Snow White. Wait. Oh no, it's the people who comment on my videos. I saw your Encanto video, Alex. You think you can just make fun of my favorite billion-dollar company's commercial products and get away with it? I mean, yeah?
You thought wrong.
No, wait, hold on a second. See, it's just a live-action Snow White movie this time.
I see. Well, the council has granted you permission. This time.
But before that, really quick, this video is brought to you by Skillshare. You all know what Skillshare is. They have an absurd number of classes and teachers covering pretty much every subject you could ever think of. From artsy skills to business skills, analog, digital, beginner level, professional level, and anything in between everything I just said. Skillshare is the perfect partner to have when you want to start learning how to do something, get better at it, and then turn it into a side hustle or a full-blown career. Skillshare is there for you every step of the way with how to make a plan, maintain momentum, and follow through with whatever goals you have. Like I said, it could be creative goals, business goals, school goals, or even just personal wellness, everyday life stuff. One of the most important skills you could ever learn is how to learn, and Skillshare can even help you literally do that with the class How to Learn Anything Based on Science. Might be the most important skill you ever pick up in your life. And of course you can use Skillshare to level up your career and get into a new industry and all that, but also you could just learn stuff in your free time for fun, you know? Not everything has to be all rise and grind all the time. And sure, you can use YouTube and stuff to learn things too, but you never know if the info's up to date, or is the playlist complete? You finish part 4, then it goes to part 7, and what are you supposed to do? If you sign up to Skillshare today using my link, the first 500 people who do so will get a 1-month full free trial of Skillshare. You literally have nothing to lose, so use my link and sign up today. Okay, back to the show.
Once upon a time, there was a peaceful kingdom ruled by a virtuous queen and king. One winter's night, a blizzard swept through their land, but leaving them a most precious gift. A princess was born.
Wait, so the snow brought them a baby? Yeah, my sister tried running that same exact line back in high school. So in this remake, fairest of them all refers to Snow White being really nice, and not about how she has the same sickly, hermetic complexion of someone who never goes outside except when the Uber Eats comes, like me. So the movie starts off with a song about how there's gems in the ground, and then Snow White's like, yeah, it's cool, my dude, think maybe you could back up a little bit, please? But one day, the queen falls ill and passes away, leaving just the king and Snow White. But then, everything changes, again.
Until an enchanting woman from a far-off land appeared at the palace.
An enchanting woman from a foreign land? Heck yeah, sign me up. Oh, it's just Gal Gadot. Psst, never mind.
So great was her beauty that it seemed to grant her powers beyond the ordinary. She married the king. But she was not what she appeared. She was evil.
Wow, the typecasting in this movie is crazy. So what ends up happening is the king marries this foreign woman and she convinces him to go to war with the Southern Kingdom. But he never comes back, which leaves her as the new queen, and Snow White is just shut away forever.
As the years passed, the people nearly forgot there ever was a princess named Snow White.
We're the good
You know, it's kind of funny how like the reception in this movie was so bad, and this haircut is so goofy looking, that everyone kind of forgot that Rachel Zegler is like one of the hottest human beings to ever exist. This movie did her so dirty. Now, one day, Snow White is doing whatever she does, and that's when she just so happens to run into a boy in the castle. Bleh, cooties, gross.
I'm sorry. Is there something I can help you with?
Yeah, I'm looking for some peanut butter to suck through a straw so I can work out my jaw, you know what I'm saying? You got any chain link fences I can chew on? Dude, look at me, I don't need facial hair to hide my weak chin. So this thief guy and Snow White start talking for a bit, as people do sometimes, or so I'm told.
I'm gonna have to ask you to put those back.
I would, but it seems like the queen has plenty already.
Oh.
You really think the people upstairs want to share with people like us?
Well, the princess would. All she does is think of how to help her people.
Oh, well then you should let her know. At some point, it might be useful for her to stop thinking. Maybe start doing.
But I shared a post on Facebook. What else could I possibly do? So the thief guy escapes, and Snow White goes to talk to the queen about how the people are starving, and she should maybe kind of like share some food or something. And she's like, ew.
One is weak, useless, fragile. The other, hard, unyielding, everlasting, flawless. Look at yourself. Isn't this what you want? Go on. Speak to your people.
You know, it really is inspiring how Gal Gadot got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for having the acting chops of a high school sophomore. I mean, hey, follow your dreams, kids. So, Snow White is reminded of how powerless she is, and so she sings one of the new songs in the movie, Waiting on a Wish. And like, I gotta say, the lyrics are really corny, but as far as Disney power ballads go, like, this song's actually pretty awesome. I saw a lot of people saying the songs are trash, but like, I don't know about all that. Some of them sound pretty good. Anyway, so as per the Snow White story, the queen goes into her magic mirror room and asks the mirror who's the fairest one of all.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
Famed is thy beauty, Majesty. But wait, a lovely maiden I now behold.
Is this dude up to like 2 packs a day or something? This dude sounds like he hangs out at gas stations for fun. But as you can imagine, the queen is none too thrilled about this, and she sends a huntsman, whatever that is, to go take Snow White apple picking so he can, hold on, what am I allowed to say now? Control, Alt, delete her.
Take Snow White far into the forest. Find a secluded glade where she can pick apples. And there, kill her.
Majesty, she's just a girl.
Then I'm your queen.
And so he tries to do that, but obviously doesn't go through with it, or else this will be a really short movie. Wait, what is his face? What, Snow White? No, what happened? Anyway, so he lets her go and she runs into the dark magic forest full of evil arthritis trees and gets rescued by some cute little animals like this little turtle? Look at this little man, look at how happy he is. What's that like? And so all these little tennis balls on strings take her to a cute little cottage where she breaks in and falls asleep. This, of course, is where the movie introduces us to the dwarves.
A splendid day to say
That's you!
Oh my!
Isn't I?
Why, thank you.
Do you know what I'm allergic to? This sorry sack of chops.
No, no, my goodness, what happened?
Shut it, Grumps.
Hi-ho, 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 hi-ho.
No, stop. No, make it stop. Let's all take a moment and just look at this for a while. Okay, that's enough. This is all Peter Dinklage's fault, by the way, okay? We could have had regular looking people. You know, heaven forbid people with dwarfism get paid union work, am I right? Is this any better? This is just a convention of every sleep paralysis demon I've ever had. These dudes look like the nightmare puppets from Lazy Town. It's just so weird how like the animals are very cartoony and very cute, right? Like the deer is literally just Bambi, but the dwarves are more on the realistic side, so they just look horrendous. Like Dopey is just some dude. Anyway, so they all come home from working in the mines and there's a girl in their bed? No, I get it, Snow White. I mean, I had the same reaction like 15 seconds ago. But once they calm down, everyone's like, hello, what's all this then?
Well, where did you come from? Are you hungry? Can we be friends?
Do you have Snapchat? What's your Discord? What's your favorite Sonic game?
My parents always said this forest was a magical place.
And I've always said that humans cause nothing but trouble.
Okay, see, now you're speaking my language. But like, it's not even just the fact that the faces are terrifying, but also the animation in general is so janky. Like how did this get approved? This looks so bad. Anyway, so while this is all going on, the queen thinks Snow White is, in the recycle bin. So once again, she goes to the mirror and she's like, hey, so like, do you still think I'm hot?
Magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all?
Far beyond the castle wall, somewhere in the woods dwells Snow White.
My dude, what are you doing? Stop snitching! Make something up! And so the queen's like, harumph harumph, and sings a song about being evil and hot or whatever. Remember back when Gal Gadot and all the other celebrities like cured COVID by singing Imagine by John Lennon? and then all of our problems were solved. Anyway, so Snow White keeps hanging out with all the dwarves and everyone's getting to know each other.
I forgot getting along could be so much fun. I forgot we had an oven in here.
Well, when I was a little girl, every day was like this.
Yeah, okay, I was a 90s kid too, Snow White. Like, come on, you ain't special. Also, I love how Snow White just can't stop trauma dumping on everyone she meets. Everyone's all singing and dancing, making merry, having a good time, and then she's like,
Well, when I was a little girl, every day was like this.
Every day?
Every day. When my father was king.
yeah, okay, everyone's having a good time right now, Snow White, all right? Let's try reading the room, huh? Anyway, so for some reason, Snow White decides to go look for her dad because, like, the bandit thief guy from earlier said that he steals in the name of the king or something. And so she sets out to find him and runs right into him like 20 seconds later.
Say a word.
Okay, I'm sorry, but like, this dude lives in a forest, right? How is he so baby-bottom, smooth face like this? This guy should look like Tom Hanks in Castaway.
I'm actually looking for my father, hoping you might be able to help me.
Well, I'm so sorry to disappoint. You must have mistaken me for a knight in shining armor.
I was hoping you might know something.
Oh, of course. Princesses are always waiting for a prince to show up.
Wink, wink, hey, he's not a prince like in the original movie. This ain't your grandma, Snow White.
Hands up. Step away from our captain, and no harm will come to you.
You're just a common criminal.
My name's Jonathan, Princess. Not Jonathan, Princess. Just Jonathan. Princess. Look. You seem...
You know, we're all poking fun about this face, but like, this dude makes the same exact face for like half of the movie. It's an epidemic, I tell you what. Anyway, so long story short, the queen sends guards to find Snow White, but with the help of the bandits and her own ingenuity, she escapes. However, Captain Adam's apple over here takes a crossbow bolt for her, and she takes him back to the dwarves to try and save his life.
I used the blast furnace to cut through the bedrock, then drilled to the fissure core, added a poultice too, a dose of acetum saturninum, acid of sulfur dulcified.
Yeah, okay, you had a lot of fun at Coachella, we get it. And so the bandit is saved, and now the humans and dwarves are best friends.
Hot milk. It helps me sleep.
Yeah, thanks. I'm not really in the mood for dwarf milk right now. Now, remember back when Rachel Zegler said that the movie is definitely not about Snow White falling in love?
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it.
That is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love.
Well, guess what happens anyway? Oh, the power of having two conversations and a chin like Farquaad. But like, seriously though, you guys have barely spoken to each other this whole movie? Sarcastic comment. Witty response. But then like right after this, somehow, for some reason, the bandit not prince guy gets captured by the queen's guard, and they take him to the castle.
You look familiar. Oh, yeah. The lady with the good potatoes.
Where is Snow White?
The same place as your acting skills. So, with no other choice left, the queen uses her dark hot girl magic to turn into an ugly old lady and make a poison apple to give to Snow White, who she just like knows where she is.
Jonathan?
I'm sorry, my dear. Did I frighten you?
No, I was expecting someone else.
I mean, like, the guards were looking for days and found nothing, but then the queen's just, like, goes to the cottage. This movie could have been over in 5 minutes the whole time?
I know I don't have much to give.
Thank you. For him. For your father.
And then Snow White expires horizontally, or whatever. And that's the end of the movie. Thanks for watching, everybody. Anyway, so the bandit guy just can't stay away from this haircut for 1 second longer. So he breaks out of the prison and rushes back to find out that he's too late to save Snow White. And then guess what happens? Wait, you thought I was dead, so you made out with me? That's weird.
That is not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by a handsome prince. She's going to be saved by some mid-looking dude who lives in a forest. See? Totally different movie. And so, the end of the movie is Snow White returning to the town, and everyone's like, whoa. And she's like, whoa. And then the queen comes out and makes a diamond dagger for some reason.
If you want the throne,
Take it.
I don't need a sword. I have the power of friendship. And then the queen's like, her, and the guard's like, her. And then Snow White's like, huh, and then she appeals to everyone's inner humanity or something.
Paul, you were a farmer. Matthew, you were a baker. I remember you. All of you.
I said enough.
There was a time where we lived with hope. Good things were nurtured and allowed to grow.
Yeah, guys, remember when we had Yu-Gi-Oh! And Digimon back-to-back every Saturday morning on Fox Kids? I didn't know how good I had it. And so the queen's magic is broken. Everyone in town seizes the means of production, and the queen is kind of perturbed about all this and runs away.
She will always be more fair than thee.
You lie!
You know, I gotta say though, this part here with the queen is so cool. The visual artistic direction of everything to do with the queen is really awesome. Like her outfits, the chambers, the mirror room, the whole ending scene here, like this was all wasted on such a mediocre movie. Whoever did all this was working way above their pay grade. But all the same, that's the end of the movie. So like obviously this score is just people on the internet being dumb. And honestly, I even think the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes is a bit low. Like, not that it's a great movie, but I didn't think it was this bad. As many people before me have said, Gal Gadot's outfits are incredible. And there's some really cool visuals in some parts. But then we have stuff like this, which like I haven't been able to sleep for about a week and a half now. But like as for the movie itself, you know, it's extremely paint by numbers. No character has any arc or development of any kind. They just are. Except Dopey, who's like too shy to talk the whole movie, but then he finally finds the courage to speak his truth.
So we moved to LA. My father gets a job at the Palm restaurant. My uncle Junior works there, who is a Jehovah's Witness. Believe it or not, he went from Catholic to Jehovah.
But all the same, this movie did so bad in theaters that Disney's halted production on its upcoming Tangled and Hercules remakes. So who knows what the future of all this is gonna be. And like, obviously for the sake of my YouTube channel, I hope they keep pumping out this garbage, but for the sake of my soul though, like, I don't know how much more I can take. So yeah, like, my honest, actual thoughts here is like, I don't think this movie is nearly as bad as everyone's pretending it is. Like, everyone's like really obsessed with just like how absolutely terrible this Snow White movie is, but like, I don't know, it's like a solid 5 out of 10, honestly. Like, is it good? No, it's really not that good. There's a lot that's kind of off about this movie. Like I talked about, you know, the dwarves and all that. A lot of the practical stuff, like the costumes and all that, like it just looks really cheap. Like, it looks like they're in a community theater production where like all the clothes, they're super clean, there's no wrinkles, there's no stains. Like that dude lives in a forest and his clothes are just like pristine, just the cleanest cut man you've ever seen. But even all that aside, like, I don't know why Disney was banking so hard on this movie to like go in theaters. I mean, like it has a really, really high budget. And like, I can't imagine a reality in which, you know, millions and millions of people flock to the theater to see Snow White like they did with, you know, Moana 2 or whatever. Like, it just doesn't have that kind of power. Even like the Lilo and Stitch live action remake, I feel like that would have made a little more sense to market a lot harder because it's still kind of part of that like Renaissance time a little bit. People are probably way more interested in seeing that movie in theaters than they would be for like Snow White, you know what I mean? Like, really, it should have just been direct to Disney Plus, I think.